Hello and welcome to this video on oxygen not included in the new ranching update. In this video we'll talk about how to choose your starting duplicants and what you can look for to make it a bit easier on yourself. But first we're going to name our little colony. So I'm really bad at writing and talking at the same time, at least if I have to say something different than what I'm actually writing, so I didn't even try to intend that. So I'm gonna call it Pebble in the Sky. And for those who, like me, are a fan of 1960s and 50s sci-fi literature, will know that this is an Isaac Asimov novel. It has really nothing to do other than that, like the name is somewhat fitting with this game. It's about this man in the 1950s, I guess, who gets teleported or by an accident gets thrown like 50,000 years into the future, where Earth is a radioactive backwater planet in a big galactic empire. But enough of that, because that's not why you're watching this video, is to have me talk about 1950s sci-fi literature, but rather why you should choose certain traits on your duplicants to make the start a bit easier for yourself. So let's take a look here. There's some traits that you're gonna try to find and some traits you're gonna avoid in the beginning. There's some negative traits that doesn't really affect gameplay, like for example, can't perform this or that job. So those are the ones we're looking for. This one needs a little extra to do their business. I don't think that's good. But on the stomach, definitely not good, because in the early game the resources are somewhat strange. You don't want anyone that is using too much air or too much food. Narcoleptic, that just seems like they're already kind of suicidal, the duplicants. Having a narcoleptic duplicant even feel more towards that, you know. So let's start to shuffle this one out. Oh, this is a good negative trait, right? So this guy can't do research. Those are the negative traits we're looking for, because we don't need everyone to do research. We just need like one duplicant. So what he's good at? Mole hand, he's good at digging. Tidy, he's good at tidying jobs. He got cooking, he got a bit of everything. So this is a really good one, right? A negative trait that doesn't really matter, and some good traits that we're really gonna do a lot of early on. So he's a keeper, little Ashkan, right? So we're going with little Ashkan. I'm not gonna name the duplicants, it's just gonna take too much time. So let's shuffle this one around. Loud sleeper, it's not really a negative trait, it just means he needs his own bedroom. He's gonna snore loud and wake the other duplicants up if you don't, so just put him apart. So let's look what he got. He got cook, he also got ranching. Now I haven't played in ranching, I didn't play the like preview when they were like reading out the bugs, so I don't know exactly how ranching works. That's something you're gonna discover while playing now, but I would say it's probably good to have ranching, right? Early bird, morning, bonus to skills, really good. Cook, yeah, we need a chef, so why not? So he's actually could be a keeper. So let's switch Lindsay around. I might do some more switches than I normally do. Well, normally I kind of sometimes just go with the ones I get, but just to explain how different things work, right? So let's shuffle around. Marie, squirmish. Can I perform errand care? This is also one of the typical negative traits that doesn't really matter. We don't care if she can't perform errand care, because there's other duplicants who can do it. So it's not a negative traits we're going to worry about. Iron gut. Ignores diarrhea, that's good, because in the early game, let's face it, you're gonna give them crap food. Can do build, she will perform those jobs, or will master them rather, quite fast. So we got someone who can dig and someone who can build, and someone he can also ranch, right? She don't have plus to ranching, but still, she's really nice. So I think like these are really good duplicants. I would normally just go with these ones, but I'm gonna be a little bit more picky, because this guy is a hassle in the beginning to have to create an extra bedroom, right? Plus this guy is already good at digging because he got mole hands, right? And ranching, that kind of, I guess she will do the ranching because she will learn them faster. So if we're gonna trade someone here, it's a little hard, right? So let's have him go. Slow learner, diver's lungs though is really good. Less air consumption early on. Slow learner, not as good, right? So let's shuffle it around. Squirmish, cannot perform care. Only him can do care works, and I don't think that matter early on, because early on you're not gonna do a lot honestly, you won't even have a sick bay, right? So for starting, since you will adopt more duplicants over time, having 2 that cannot take care of people doesn't really matter. You got Iron Gut, which, like we said, was really good early on. You got Operate. You're not gonna do a lot of operating jobs early on. I'd rather have someone focused on research, because we're gonna do a lot of research early on. So we're gonna be a little bit more greedy here, looking for a good duplicant here than I usually would. Let's see, Gastro, I can't even pronounce that. Gastro Culinary Arts. She can't be a cook. Doesn't really matter. We have other people who can cook. Alter Ranch. There's some really good things here, but I'm just gonna keep looking for this research artist. Quick learner, nope. Yokel, like I said, cannot perform. We're looking for a researcher here, so it wouldn't really matter, because I could put her on research, Marie, but nah, be hazardous. Yeah, well. Noodle Arms, nah, nothing with research here. Pacifist, also another really good negative trait to have, because you're not going to do much combat, at least how it is right now. Stronger, that's nice. We got the research that we wanted, because we want them to master research jobs faster. And the reason is, like, it's in the beginning, usually for me at least, I do all my research early on in the game. So I think this one is a really good one, so I'm going to go with these ones. Is there something else I could talk about here? Well, the core expectations, since they changed it in the last patch, I think it was, is kind of the same for everyone, right? And it just changes with the when you level them up in different jobs, right? So you don't really have to look at the core expectations. When it comes to the stress response, like Bing Eater, he will eat a lot. It's not really good in the beginning. Or Vomiter or Ugly Cry, right? I mean, if you manage your colony correctly, even though these can be really annoying, you will never really hit those levels of stress. I remember actually, like, a long time ago, I had this colony. It was before geysers, I think, steam geysers. And I actually had, like, I tried to make a sustainable water plant by having a stress room where I kind of locked in the duplicants to make them stressed. I cry, so I was feeding my my colony on duplicant tears. I did that, and it kind of worked until my girlfriend saw what I was doing, got really pissed at me. Personally, I don't really see the difference between that and killing a lot of, like, she also games, but different games, killing a lot of aliens in Warframe for loot. Who knows, they just might want to do their guard duty and go home to their families. What do I know, right? So, but apparently it was. So yeah, but fortunately no torture is needed of small duplicants nowadays to get a sustainable water source. You can just use geysers, although I heard they've been nerfed in an update now, so it's gonna be interesting. Well, I think that was everything. We covered the interest, what you built. This is just, it's a perk. It's good if they have it, but it's not a requirement that they learn the jobs faster. They kind of learn it somewhat fast anyway, but it's definitely what I would check out, is to not have too bad negative traits here. Look for the ones that doesn't really affect your gameplay. And it's a plus, of course, if you have something that's good for the early on work you're gonna do, which is a lot of building, a lot of digging, and a lot of research. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the game, but the gameplay I will show in the next episode. Alright, cheers!